I've never been the type of person that has enjoyed waiting on people. I'm very timely. If there's a time set for something to begin, trust and believe I'm not going to get there on time. I'm going to get there early. I had an English teacher back in high school, Thomas Clifford, and he would say, to be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late, and to be late is unheard of. We don't do that here. And so I've always had an issue with going places late. Anytime I have to go out and sing or speak somewhere, I always like to get there about an hour early, because I don't believe that we should rush. And I like to get to church early. I believe that if I'm going to work, there is no going late unless there is something that crazy that has taken place. Only because I believe that everything we do for God, and everything that we do is actually for the glory of God, and it should be done in excellence. So waiting on people or just waiting for things has not always been my thing. But what happens when you've waited and then you've seen something come to pass, you've seen something work out, and just when you think that God has now broken down certain walls and barriers for you, and then here you are waiting again. And I was on the phone with someone not too long ago, and they just said, you know what, I was expecting these things to happen, and now I'm waiting again. What is it when you can't rush God? That we can put pressure on other people to hurry up so we can do a certain thing or go to a certain place. But what is it when you cannot rush the plan of God and the purpose of God? And I found myself, just waiting again and really just trying to hear from God. And I think that sometimes when we are in that place where there's a lack of clarity, we can make some devastating choices and decisions if we're not careful. So the truth of the matter is that sometimes it's not that we should be doing something in the midst of our waiting other than what God has told us to do, and really it's just to be still, and see the salvation, be still and just see God work out things as He wants to work them out. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it speaks about that. In verse 11, it says, God does everything just right and on time, but people can never truly comprehend what He is doing. And it's like, why can't we really comprehend what He's doing? And perhaps it's because we allow the clouds to roll in and we not really open up our eyes in the stillness of whatever we're going through, just to be patient with God. And to, the Bible even says that we are in need of patience, we're in need of endurance, we're in need of confidence, we're in need of strength. So in the midst of waiting again, I just ask God, obviously you're taking me somewhere else. So God, strengthen me for the next journey. And, there are many things that waiting on God is not one of those. I'm reminded of a story that will outline it. It's a story of a woman who was dieting, and she would pass by this bakery every day on the way to work. And she was changing her lifestyle. She wanted to get healthy. And one morning she was praying, and this is after she had already changed her route to work every day, because she said, I cannot drive by this bakery because I don't want to be tempted. And one day she was driving the same old route that she used to drive past the bakery, and she said, God, I know that there are chocolates and donuts and all types of pastries in the windows, but if it be your will for me to go into this bakery, allow there to be a parking space right out front. And so then finally, after she drove back and forth about 8 times, a spot opened up in front, and she said, okay, well, that's the will of God. But waiting on God is really not forcing certain things to happen. Waiting on God is not forcing our will via and based on our impatience to take place. And if we're just still and just to ask God, you know what, before I come to you with my need, I'm going to bring my heart to you. I'm going to come to you with my heart. And Father, you search my heart. And in this time that you have me waiting again, just search every place that I think is discreet in my life. Look behind every corner, look inside of every cabinet of my heart. And if you find anything that's not like you, take it out of me so that I have the strength and the character and the endurance for what's to come. Because obviously if God has you waiting, if God has you in that place where not a lot of things are moving, it's definitely for a reason. So we just have to be still and just wait on God and just be reminded of what the scripture says, that God does everything just right and on time. And we want to be in that place that although we may not understand what he's doing, sometimes the only thing that you can do is just to trust God, to trust his plan, to trust his will, to understand that he is sovereignly sovereign. So in the midst of my waiting, again, it's not fun. I don't like waiting. And I could vent to people and I don't like waiting on them. But what is it when the God of heaven, the God of earth, the God of my life, the ruler of my life, the one who created me and who knew me before I was even formed in my mother's womb, what is it when I have to wait on him? And what it is just patience, just to be still and just know that he is God and that something greater is coming. And although I may have to go back and forth, trust and believe that eventually I'll go back again and I will hear the sound of an abundance of rain, and it's going to be real good. So just be encouraged with that. Just knowing that your waiting season does not mean that what you're hoping for and believing God for is not going to happen. It's just preparation time. So go ahead and get your preparation on. God bless you. I'll see you soon.